What if all the oceans on Earth suddenly disappeared? It is almost impossible to imagine our planet without water. Today, oceans cover more than 70% of Earth's surface and hold most of the water on our planet. They control our climate, influence the weather, and support an incredible variety of life. But billions of years ago, the Earth looked completely different. There were no oceans, no rivers, and no lakes. The young planet was a violent world filled with fire and molten rock. Volcanoes erupted constantly, and massive asteroids crashed into the surface again and again. Scientists believe that Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago from a massive cloud of gas and dust surrounding the young sun. As gravity pulled these particles together, they slowly formed the early planet. At first, Earth was extremely hot. The surface was covered with oceans of magma, and temperatures were far too high for liquid water to exist. However, even in this chaotic environment, water was already present. Much of this early water existed as vapor trapped inside the thick atmosphere of the young planet. Volcanoes released enormous amounts of gases, including steam, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen. Over millions of years, the planet slowly began to cool. As the surface temperature dropped, something extraordinary started to happen. Water vapor in the atmosphere began to condense into clouds. Eventually, the first rain began to fall. And it did not rain for a few days or weeks. Scientists believe it may have rained for thousands or even millions of years. The rainwater slowly collected in the lowest parts of Earth's surface, forming the first primitive oceans. But rain alone may not explain all the water on our planet. Some scientists believe much of Earth's water may have come from space. Billions of years ago, countless icy comets and water-rich asteroids collided with the young Earth. These impacts may have delivered enormous amounts of water to the planet. Over time, as more rain fell and more water accumulated, the first true oceans began to form. These early oceans were very different from the oceans we see today. They were hotter, more acidic, and filled with minerals released by volcanic activity. Yet these ancient oceans would eventually become the cradle of life itself. Because deep within the oceans, the first microscopic organisms would eventually appear, beginning the long and incredible story of life on Earth. Once the first oceans formed on Earth, the planet began to transform in ways that would shape the future of life. The oceans became a powerful force that slowly changed the surface of the planet. Waves carved coastlines, rivers carried minerals into the sea, and underwater volcanic activity continued to reshape the ocean floor. Over millions of years, the oceans helped stabilize Earth's climate and regulate temperatures across the planet. But the oceans also remained one of the most mysterious parts of our world. Even today, scientists estimate that more than 80% of the deep ocean remains unexplored. In the deepest parts of the ocean, sunlight never reaches the seafloor. The pressure is enormous, and temperatures can be extremely cold. Yet life still exists there. Strange and unusual creatures have adapted to survive in complete darkness and crushing pressure. Some of these animals produce their own light in a process known as bioluminescence. Others survive near deep-sea hydrothermal vents, where superheated water rich in minerals rises from the ocean floor. These extreme environments may provide important clues about how life first began on Earth. Many scientists believe that the earliest forms of life may have developed in the oceans near these hydrothermal vents billions of years ago. Today, the oceans remain one of the most important systems on our planet. They produce much of the oxygen we breathe, regulate the global climate, and support countless ecosystems. Yet, despite their importance, humans have explored only a tiny fraction of the ocean depths, and the more scientists explore the deep ocean, the more mysteries they discover. The oceans may have formed billions of years ago, but their secrets are still waiting to be discovered. Even today, the oceans remain one of the most mysterious places on Earth. Although humans have explored the planet for centuries, scientists believe that more than 80% of the ocean floor is still unknown. The deep sea is a dark and extreme environment where sunlight cannot reach, and pressure becomes enormous. In the deepest trenches, the pressure can be more than 1,000 times stronger than at the surface. For a long time, scientists believed that no life could survive in such conditions. But modern exploration has revealed something extraordinary. The deep ocean is filled with strange and fascinating creatures that have adapted to survive in complete darkness. Some animals produce their own light through a process called bioluminescence, creating glowing shapes in the black water. Others have enormous eyes or transparent bodies designed to survive in the deep sea. Scientists have also discovered hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, where superheated water rises from deep within the earth. Around these vents, entire ecosystems exist even though no sunlight is present. Bacteria living near these vents use chemical energy instead of sunlight to survive, and other organisms feed on them. This discovery completely changed our understanding of how life can exist on Earth. Some scientists even believe that the first life forms on our planet may have originated near these hydrothermal vents billions of years ago. The oceans are not only deep and mysterious, but also incredibly powerful. Ocean currents move enormous amounts of water around the planet, helping regulate Earth's climate and temperature. Without the oceans, the planet would experience extreme temperature changes between day and night. The oceans also produce a large portion of the oxygen that we breathe through tiny organisms known as phytoplankton. These microscopic plants float near the surface and use sunlight to produce energy, releasing oxygen into the atmosphere. Because of this, the oceans play a critical role in supporting life on Earth. Yet, despite their importance, the oceans are still one of the least understood environments on our planet. As scientists continue to explore the oceans, they are constantly discovering new species and new environments that were previously unknown. Deep-sea expeditions using advanced submarines and robotic vehicles have revealed incredible landscapes hidden beneath the waves. Massive underwater mountains known as seamounts rise from the ocean floor, while deep trenches stretch thousands of meters into the earth. The deepest known point in the ocean is the Mariana Trench, which reaches a depth of almost 11 kilometers below sea level. If Mount Everest were placed inside this trench, its peak would still remain underwater. In these extreme depths, the pressure is so intense that most equipment cannot survive for long periods of time. Yet even here, life has been discovered. Strange fish, jellyfish, and microscopic organisms continue to surprise scientists with their ability to survive in such extreme conditions. The ocean floor also hides enormous geological structures, including underwater volcanoes and vast plains of sediment that have formed over millions of years. Some of these underwater volcanoes continue to erupt, releasing lava into the cold ocean water. These eruptions help create new ocean crust and slowly reshape the planet over time. The oceans are also connected to the movement of Earth's tectonic plates. As these massive plates shift, they create earthquakes underwater, which can sometimes generate powerful tsunamis. These massive waves can travel across entire oceans and reach coastlines thousands of kilometers away. Understanding the oceans is therefore not only important for science, but also for protecting human populations living near coastal regions. Even with modern technology, much of the ocean remains unexplored and mysterious. Each new expedition reveals something unexpected, reminding us that the oceans are still one of the last great frontiers on Earth. The story of how the oceans formed billions of years ago is only the beginning of a much larger mystery that scientists are still trying to understand today.